Good morning, everyone. Oh my goodness. We've made it to Friday. Can you believe it? I think the week has gone by super fast. What do you think? Yeah, it is Friday. So excited to be here. And even more importantly, you guys, we're getting a project finished. How cool is that? I was so flippin' proud of myself last night as I was putting all my pieces together. I'm like, "Mike, look, I'm finishing." But I'm not quite yet finished because I couldn't quite go to the finish line until today so that we could do it together. But I got all of my blocks finished. They've all been sewn together. I got my borders, quilted. I hope that was helpful for you yesterday. I hope you learned a lot from that. And I'm ready to rock and roll. How about you? I mean, this is like we are at the finish line, and this is very exciting stuff. So thank you so much for being with me all this week. And remember that all of these videos have been recorded. You can find them on our Facebook page right here, right where you're at, as well as on our YouTube channel. Okay, so you can go back and refer to them as often as you'd like. All right, so this is, our little shot here because we got to show that off, right? And let's now talk about how to finish this baby. Oh, let's see. Yay. I'm so glad you're enjoying this week. It's been fun reading your comments. I've been trying to get to most of them. In fact, last night when I was embroidering, it was like I could embroider and answer comments at the same time, which was fantastic, especially when you have 844 comments to go through and respond to. So, anyway, all right. I'm curious, first of all, how many of you have been able to stay up with me through this week? Have you been able to get it done, sewn, all the things? Or, many of you are probably watching and are going to do it later, which is fine too, but just more out of curiosity, I'd love to see that. Hey, good morning, Cindy. Cindy, now that I see you on here, I know a question that pops up for you oftentimes is about the cutting, and I want to make sure that you saw Monday's class. Okay, so Monday's class this week was all about the cutting and prepping, and I thought of you. I thought about you, and I know that that can be a source of frustration sometimes, and so I hope you were able to watch that. And if you didn't, you can watch the replay. And that goes for anyone else out there who has ever been, worried or discouraged by the cutting. I hope you'll go back and watch Monday's class because I think taking you step by step is really going to, be helpful. All right. So Debbie said she's not a stitch, but she's ready to jump in this weekend. Watch while she was working. That's awesome, Debbie. And I'm so glad you're going to do it this weekend. That is good. Oh, good. Cindy did watch it. Okay. I am so glad to hear that. Okay. So let's see. Put it together. Not, I'll get it all done today, tomorrow. Okay, Colleen, you got this. You got this, my friend. All right. So let's talk about, um, you know what? I think I'll talk about first. I'm going to share with you a little mishap that happened to me so that, if, and I know this doesn't work on all machines. So I'll give that caveat here. But remember when, let's see, what week, what day, it was on Wednesday. Yeah, it was on Wednesday. We were all together, we were doing the Holy Family. And we had the stable and we were running out of time, right? There was a lot to cover because of that fringe, the fringe hay. And so we were able to, we skipped through some of the steps in order to be able to, catch up everyone by the end of the noon hour, Mountain Time, 2 o'clock for those of you on the East. So do you remember that? Okay. And so I said to all of you, I said, you know what, I'm going to stitch through this afterwards and finish it so that you don't have to watch the entire stable stitch out. So, okay, so that's what I did. I just stayed in the studio after class was over and went back and stitched the stable, finished the stars, all the things. Okay, you guys are remembering all about this, right? So I was pretty excited because I thought, yay, I got it done and I don't have to take it home or anything. Well, guess what I forgot to do? Because I had gone backwards, I, finished the stable, finished the stars. And then when I finished the stars, I was like, boom, I'm done. Good. I forgot to put in the eyelets. Oh, I forgot the eyelets. And guess what? I didn't realize I had forgotten the eyelets until I went to go cut it out and trim it and square it up and all the things. Okay. So what do? Well, you everything's figure outable, right? So I'm like, okay, you got this, Kris. So I am very fortunate. I do own the Baby Lock Solaris. Okay. And on the Solaris comes the Visionary Projector. Okay. I don't know how many of you have that. or if you have the brother equivalent. But that is an amazing feature. And I want to show you some pictures I took last night when I recognized that I didn't have the eyelets on and I had already trimmed it up. So it was too late to rehoop it necessarily. So what I did, and again, any machine, you really can do some realignment and, just add another layer of stabilizer and all those things, right? Because you got to have it in the hoop. So you got to have stabilizer to hold it down into the hoop because it's already been cut out. Well, I already had a layer of stabilizer in it, right? I had light mesh cutaway. I didn't want a second layer of light mesh cutaway. I only had three little eyelets that I had to put in. So what I did was I grabbed light tearaway stabilizer, okay, and I hooped that. I then did a little 505 spray adhesive on the back of my block and I floated it on top of the tearaway stabilizer. Okay. And then on my Solaris, I was able to pick up the IQ Visionary. All right. So I've got some pictures here to show real quick. So what IQ Visionary does is it actually projects the image onto your project. And this picture, it doesn't do as great of a job because, I mean, the coloring gets really weird when you um, take a look at the coloring of the Visionary projector on a camera. But let's go to 3161. Okay, so on my screen, is that block. But do you see what's in the red box? That is actually what's going to end up projecting uh, onto my project. All right. So light comes on, and the design projects down onto the project. So let's go back to the one above it. All right. Do you see that's the light where it was at? And then I can move that light anywhere on my project to be able to place my eyelets. So let's go to the last picture. So then I moved my light up above the manger or above the stable, and I highlighted where the little eyelets went. And guess what? It projected it right onto my project. I could line it up. I could move my object if I needed to. And you can see my fingernail here. I'm pointing to the three eyelets that I was able to perfectly place, even though I had forgotten them earlier. How cool is that, right? So I just wanted to show that because this is what, sometimes we look at some of these machines and you say, when would I use that? Why would I use that? How important is it to me? Well, I was pretty grateful I had it last night when I was trying to figure out where are the eyelets going to go. And then I just skipped ahead stitches and just passed up all the different thread changes until I got to my very last step of putting in the eyelets. And then I stitch out the eyelets. And guess what? Afterwards, I was able to just tear off the tearaway stabilizer and saved it. So again, how cool is that, right? So it's just something that I was like, oh, I want to show this because again, this was the perfect opportunity to just teach something that maybe some of you have and didn't know you could do, or maybe sometimes what I like to say is sometimes we don't know what we don't know. And if you weren't sure, like if you didn't know that that was even an option out there in the sewing and quilting and embroidery world, then hopefully I was able to share something with you today that you go, wow, okay, I didn't know that about the Solaris. That intrigues me. Okay, so Deb, I thought of you when I did this. She says, I've been contemplating against Solaris. Now you're making it harder to say no. Yeah, no is not the right answer, my friend. I'm just teasing. So it really is a great machine. And I just love to be able to sometimes when little mishaps like that happen, I want you to know that, you're not alone. It happens to all of us. And I was glad I had a machine that could take care of it. If you don't have a machine that can take care of it, there are other things you can do. I would still completely, uh, stabilize with a tearaway stabilizer that you can just rip off, right? I would float my design. I would make sure my fabric was centered, all right? And then you could, even if it was a little off, just a titch off, you would never know. Okay, so there you go. Yeah, Gail said things like this makes the cost of these machines worth every penny. And I completely agree with that. All right, let's go ahead and get started with today. Now, another thing that let's see. Remember we talked yesterday about adding the sand, and we just kind of talked through it. I thought that today maybe I would actually show it to you. Okay, so I was about to add my other border on, and I thought, wait, Kris, let's go ahead and show it to you. By the way, someone asked, am I alone today? Yes, Miss Kyle has Fridays off, so she couldn't be with us today, so just got me. You're stuck. All right, let's go over here to the ironing station and see what's happening. All right, so I went ahead. Isn't this looking beautiful? Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. So I added the inner border on the top and the outer border, okay? And here, I'm going to bring my project and start from the left going over to the right, okay? Oh, I forgot to announce winners. Oh my goodness. Can we announce winners really quick? Okay, because I know that's a big deal. So, because it would be a big deal to me too. Let's hurry and announce winners. Okay, from yesterday, we have 3 new winners. We have USB stick is Lib Miller Daughtry, Doherty, Daughtry, something like that. Lib, you'll know that I'm talking about you, right? The Kimberbell tumbler goes to Deborah Conaway. And the laptop bag goes to Mark-Kim Nielsen. Woo! Woo, woo, woo! I want to see confetti now.
I do too.
I know. Yesterday we had balloons go out, and we don't know how that happened.
If we have everybody yell congratulations, maybe it'll work.
If everyone says congratulations, maybe it'll just work. I don't know. I don't know how that works, but congratulations, ladies. All right, it's not too late. We got another day. I will, let's see, today's winners, I will just make a post on Facebook tomorrow of who today's winners are. So all your comments are entered in, and we have a chance for 3 more people to win. Yeah, the congratulations aren't working. We don't know if you were with us yesterday. We had balloons, we had fireworks that all of a sudden went on. Like, okay, where's the confetti?
We had a random one today that you haven't noticed, but it's fine.
What did we have today?
Like
a balloon that went like that?
Or a bubble.
Oh, a bubble? Oh, that's crazy. I don't know. We still think there's gremlins on the other side, but who knows? All right, let's go to our bench pillow. Who knows? Okay, so just as a reminder, this strip has already been cut for you, and it has a nice slight curve here. So, which is very convenient. If you don't have the embellishment kit, and you purchase your own glitter applique, or maybe you decide to use something else, right? There is a pattern in the download where it gives you the curves, all right? If it were me and I was just cutting myself, I would just curve it. I would not follow a pattern. No way. I would just take my scissors and cut where the road takes me. Just saying. All right. So here we go. I'm going to bring this up a little bit. And this is going to extend further past the right-hand side of the pillow. So it's kind of nice that we can just start from the very end on the left-hand side and work our way forward. So it's important that you do this You add this step before you add on your next border. Like I said, I was going to do this all last night and I thought, it might be helpful to see it. So that's what we're going to do. All right. Also, make note that you may be overlapping some of the bottoms of these appliques a little bit, and that is totally okay too. All right, you haven't done anything wrong. I'm just going to align the top and the bottom, and we'll go from there. Is that helpful? Okay. So remember, don't forget the public service announcement. We got to take that plastic off. Very, 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 very important. Everyone, say it with me. Take the plastic off, right? We don't want to sew through that. Then what you want to use is some kind of pressing cloth. And I showed this the other day. I'm using my Laura Star iron, and it comes with this little Teflon bottom that just snaps right in, just like that. And now I don't even have to use a pressing cloth. So it's very convenient when it comes to this glitter. All right, and then I'm just going to press it in place. You want to hold it down for about 10 to 15 seconds each time. Oops. I obviously did not hold it long enough there. All right, let's try that again. Yes, I'm using Allison's iron. That's right. I did not ask for permission. Should we grab Allison and say, hey, does Kris have permission to use your iron? Okay, that is not wanting to stick. Wonder if my iron just isn't hot enough yet. Oh, it's not hot. Well, there we go.
The plastic cover off now. They're asking if you took the plastic off.
I sure did. Yes, the plastic is off. Little shepherd dude is floating in the air a little bit. I gotta get that. You know what? If little shepherd guy is floating in the air, go ahead and just kind of bring this up a little bit, all right? Because the bottom is going to be caught in the seam anyway. So if you need to finagle it a little bit, you can absolutely do that because I don't want him floating. Must have been the way I put my block on.
Does the bottom edge line up with the bottom of the pillow there?
Yes, the bottom edge is going to line up with the bottom of the pillow. Yes, yes. Okay, I'm getting close to the hay, and yes, this is going to cover some of it. For me, I want a little more hay showing, so there's no problem with just pulling it down a little bit more, and then I can trim off the excess. Okay, we're getting down there to the end of the road. Okay, so just a little bit of patience, and before you know it, you've got it done. And you can see I have some excess over here, and I'll just trim that off. Okay. All righty, so that has been installed. Let's take a look over here. Got a few things going on. Let's see if I can rearrange my workspace. Okay. It's so true. Abby said, you're not doing a project if you don't have stuff on your workspace. Absolutely. Oh, folks, you should see my sewing room right now. It's horrible. Horrible. Okay. You know what? It's nice that I have a door that I can just close. There. Like, okay, I'm done. Close the door. Okay, so I'm just going to trim off the excess here. So again, you've got plenty to work with. And again, because I went down a little bit right here, I mean, if you do slight curves, you're totally fine. But I have the little bit of excess on the back, so I'm just going to trim that to be even. All right, there we go. That's trimmed to be even. And there we go. My glitter sand applique is on. How cool is that? All right, so next, I need to add on my next border. So essentially what we're doing here is we don't let this scare you, the sand, right? We're gonna just make sure that this is all part of the pillow. Treat this as if it were fabric, okay? And all I'm going to do is put right sides together, sew my 1/4 inch seam, and then press it out. Now, here's a public service announcement as well. Make sure that your lettering is in the correct direction, the correct orientation, because, that could happen too, right? So, joy to the world, the Lord has come. Let earth receive her king. Isn't that just beautiful? I love that. One of my favorite songs um, of the season. I'm going to make sure, again, that I'm going to look at it with the way it will go on. So this is how I like to visualize, because I'm kind of auditioning this first. So I can move it around. Remember, we started with like a 1/2 inch earlier, so we can just push that down a little bit and make sure that my lettering is all going the correct direction. And then I'll take this and just flip it over so it's right sides together. All right, so let's go ahead and go to the machine. And I need to come and put it into sewing mode. So we're going to come right up here to the screen. There we go. And click on that. Hit sewing. The carriage is going to move out of the way. All right, so now I'm ready for sewing. So let's see, I want to be on a 1/4 inch, so I'm going to go to my Q02. Is a perfect 1/4 inch right there. All right. Oh yes, thank you, Sylvia. I do need to top stitch. Yes, I do. All right. I'll go ahead and add this border, and then I'll do the top stitch. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the reminder. All righty. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, it would probably help if I had some thread in. Let's do that real quick. She forgot. You forgot too until now? I know. Sometimes I get going and get so excited. I'm like, oh, it's done. No, not really. Almost done. I got to top stitch it. And that you would do also on your sewing machine. Okay. Let's thread that. Top stitch, it's an added level of security, Margaret. So just an added level of security to keep your, I mean, we've ironed it in place, but when it comes to this stuff, I would always do a top stitch around it. Okay, let me grab my foot pedal. I'm on the 1/4 inch seam allowance, and now I'm going to sew. Okay, so Karen is asking what stopped, whoops, now I got off because I was looking at the questions at the same time. Let me go backwards real quick. So she was asking what length do I have my top stitch at? The default on, your machines are probably going to come in at a 2.0. And so whenever I do top stitch, I will usually bump it up to a 3.0. Were they able to hear that okay over the machine? Okay. So I would top stitch it to a 3, or I would change the top stitch length to a 3.0. Okay, so let's come back here to the cutting table. And I've got a little piece here and a little piece here that hangs off. So I'm just going to trim those babies up. Okay. There we go. So it's nice and even. And I'll do it again on this side. Okay. Now I'm going to take it back to my ironing table, and I am going to press that out. Now, again, because you're pressing this out, you're going to be going over top of that glitter applique. So you may want to use, again, a pressing sheet for that. Let's see. Carol, what number top Solaris, please? Let's see. Carol, give me some more information. Are you asking what stitch number it is or what the length of it should be? Let me know so I can answer that better. Oh, I just, to sew it, I just used just the regular just J-foot. I'm kind of a steam girl, can you tell? I like my steam and I cannot lie. All right, okay, there we go. All right, so let's come over here. The stitches of Solaris, which number would be top stitch? Oh, Carol, I'm just going to use a regular, I'm going to put my needle in the center position, and then I'm just going to use a regular stitch. All I'm going to do is actually just bump up the stitch length a little bit. So I hope that helps. Okay, so what I'm going to do, because I forgot, is I'm going to come back over and just top stitch all down the sand applique. Okay, so needle's going in the center position, and I'm going to, let's see, right here, I'm going to bump up my length to a 3.0. All right. Is it 12 or 3? Uh-oh, Carol, I'm not following. I am not following. Now, here is, or what do you put the top stitch, please? I'm doing a Q02, and I'm doing it at a 3 length. Okay, I'm seeing if I have my little open toe foot, but I'm not seeing it here. If you have an open toe foot, that would be very helpful. Oh, is it 1, 2, or 3? I'm doing a 1 on where it's in the center position. Okay. Not seeing my open toe foot, but that's okay. I will be a brave girl, and I'm going to do it with the J-foot. Yep. No. No. Okay. No open toe foot. If you've got an open toe foot, you'll find it very helpful so that you can see and follow along. But if not, you're totally fine. You can just use the regular J foot like I'm going to use right now. And I'm just going a titch on the inside of the outside curve. All right. It's very simple. There's not much to it, but you are following the curves. Whee! I'm on a ride here. And the top stitch really isn't even going to show. I mean, because it just kind of sinks into that glitter. The bobbin thread is almost empty, and look how close I am. Look how close I am. I'm going for it. I'm going for it. Bobbin chicken at its finest. Okay, here we go. Done. Boom, bada, bang. Here we go. Boom. Gorgeous, right? All right, guys, I guess I'm going to have to pull out the bobbin. All right, fine. Let's see if I could get the case open. Wow, that little guy is stuck in there. All right, let me grab some scissors. Let's see. Put my cape on. Whee! All right, there we go. Let's open up this guy. There we go. Sometimes these are a little tricky to get. Do you guys find that? Oh, it can be so frustrating with these pre-wounds sometimes. There, we got it. If there's a second piece of thread hanging off, make sure and cut that. Okay, we're good. We are good. I have my pre-wound. Okay, so I'm going to lift up my little bobbin cover, pull that out, and place this one back in. Okay, I think we are truly set without any further bobbin changes on this one. All right, take a look at this screen right here. I always laugh. The bobbin thread is almost empty. The sad face, tears. I was telling the ladies at Tug that really there should be a software that we put into these machines that instead of that, you could say the bobbin thread is almost empty, but you're still a good person. You're amazing. We love you. You look beautiful, all the things, but you know, I'll have to put in something to Baby Lock and say, you know what would be really great? Affirmations. That's what we need. We need affirmations. We don't need sad faces. Come on. All right. Just follow me around. Tell me it's all gonna work out. It's got to say, like, you've got this. You got this. It's fine. Your bobbin thread's almost empty. Your thread broke. You're fine. All right. Okay. So up next, we got to add one more border, right? And that's all we do. Make sure, again, we don't have upside down Bethlehem. We need the right side. So audition it. Make sure that if this was looking this way, that's how it goes. So then we can go boom, right? Boom, chakalaka. All right. Now, the other thing it told us is that we want to remember how we have this end block is a little bit longer than all these other blocks, and this end block is a little longer than all the other blocks. So what you want to do is do your best to just center it, okay? So that it's about even on both sides. I don't know if we can get a little further back on the camera here, which is not what we usually like to do, but hopefully you can see here what's happening. By the way, shout out to Miss Abby. She's with us today. Abby! Haven't you always wanted a shout out in your life, my friend? Always. You walk into a room, Abby. All right, so here we go. So I'm just kind of centering this. All right. Yeah, Pam says she did trim the glitter sand a bit under the hay. You absolutely can do that. I know, right, Tracy? We need a way to have a continuous bobbin. I'll tell you, with the sewing, if you're doing sewing, the way to have a continuous bobbin is having a serger. That's called a continuous bobbin, my friend, because there is no bobbin and it lasts forever. But we don't have that with embroidery. Dang it. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna do this and put this on. See, some of the of our friends out there are saying, Abby. She's our girl. All right, I got this centered. I'm going to switch back to be a 1/4 inch seam allowance, which is Q02. All right, and then put it down. All right, Carol, I don't remember which hemming thread I used on the stable, but if you go back to Wednesday's video, I had put it up on the screen. I wish I don't have the thread colors, or yeah, I don't have the thread spools with me this morning because I didn't need them, and so they're still at my house, or else I would tell you, or maybe someone else remembers. All right, Kay is asking, are you matching top border words with bottom border words while centering? Nope. Kay, that would drive me bonkers. So no, I did not. Yes, thank you everyone for your shout outs to Abby and Allie. I called them the dream team. They've done a great job this week. And we're missing our fearless leader, Mr. Eric. He's in Canada doing a special film shoot. Not for us, but he will be back in a few weeks. It's just kind of a, what do you call those? Sabbatical. Yep, sabbatical. Just for a few weeks. I said, as long as you come back, we can't do this without you, man. But he left us in good hands with 2 amazing ladies. All right, let's go ahead and we flip that out. And again, I'll take my iron and press. Let me tell you, when you're doing anything Kimberbell with block by block, you definitely want to have an iron that can steam, because I mean, these are thicker blocks, right? Because we've got the stabilizer in them, we have the fusible backing in them. So to get them nice and flat, no matter what iron you have, I would definitely say use steam. All right. Oh my goodness, this is coming together. You're right, Curtis. Eric is in your neck of the woods. I don't remember what part of Canada he's in. Do you?
Rochester, New York.
Oh, he's in Rochester, New York, and then they go up to Canada. Is that right? Okay, so somewhere above Rochester, New York is where he's at and where he has been. And then, yeah, right now he's in Rochester, New York, which I bet some of you are probably there too. All right, so I'm just trimming off both edges to make it even. Ta-da! All right. Oh my goodness. Stunning. Absolutely stunning. Okay, let me take a look at my notes here, make sure that I've got you all caught up to speed. So let me bring this one up. First of all, just as an overview of what has just taken place and what you still may need to do is, first, you've got to sew all your blocks together into one row using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. There's 7 blocks here. This is, boy, once you get each of these blocks done, The rest goes by so fast. It's amazing. All right, the second thing that you do is that you remove the plastic topping from the glitter sand. Remember we talked about that? You don't want to stitch through that plastic. Next up, you're going to align the left and bottom edge of the sand with the edges of the piece center. It will slightly overlap the bottom applique of each block. So remember when we did that? We started here on the left, we moved over to the right, and you saw that I made some little adjustments depending on where my people were. It's okay to have them overlap, right? It's totally okay. We want them to be walking in the sand, not above the sand. So, and if you get to the hay and it's a little too wide, go ahead, bring it down a notch if you need to, or you could take your scissors and do a little trim just right here where the hay is, and then you follow all along. All right, then what we did was we pressed the glitter with the iron for 15 to 20 seconds, and make sure you use a pressing cloth there. We then trimmed the excess glitter from the right edge of the piece center. Remember doing that? And we top stitched along the edge of the glitter sand applique on the sewing machine. So today it's all about the sewing machine, folks. No more embroidery. We're done with the embroidery. It's all about just doing all the final finishing things. Then we sewed the inner borders to the top and to the bottom of the piece center. So that's what I did here. Again, just right sides together, 1/4 inch seam allowance, and pull out. And finally, we sewed on the outer borders to the top and bottom, centering the borders on each side. Because remember, we had a little bit longer block right here. And then we had a little bit longer block over here. So we kind of centered that, and then there we go. Okay, where did I stitch on the glitter? Laurel's asking. Yeah, it's amazing because you can't even see it, right? I stitch right along. Let's see if we can get an up close of this. I think that I'm going to actually, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but it really wasn't so bad. I may make several of these now because I know my mom would absolutely love it. And I think I want to make one for both of my married daughters as well. So, but the top stitch just goes right along here. It's like a 1/16 or an 1/8 of an inch, okay, in from the outside. Oh, yes, Kay wants the hay to show because it was a bit of work. Absolutely. Let's take a look right here. You can see my hay is showing. Oh my goodness, Tracy's making 8? Oh, woman, you're amazing. You're amazing. Yes, Carol, I use batting on all my borders. Absolutely. Now, you noticed and you know that I did not use fusible backing on my borders. Some of you did yours with fusible backing, and that's wonderful. So there's nothing wrong with doing it that way, but I just didn't. All right, and you could use Tiro Magic too on your borders if you wanted to. So, also notice that I did open up my seams. When I pressed them from behind, I did open them up. Carol's making 5 for all her kids in the UK. That's amazing. Carol's making 5. Gloria's planning on several of them. You guys, that's what's so fun about projects like this. It truly is a work of art, and it is something that, I think they'll treasure for so many years. All right, well, let's talk about opening eyelets, shall we? Opening eyelets. Woo woo. Okay. How do we open up these little guys? Well, if Janice is hoping to. Do you have one of these? A lot of machines will come with these. All right. And this is called an awl. Should I show it to this camera? Let's bring it over here. Take a look at that. This is an awl. You can purchase an awl at a craft store. I know OESD has some punches also, but this one actually came with my machine. A lot of our machines actually come with them, and a lot of people don't even know what they're for. In fact, I didn't know what they were for a long time. It's like, what is that contraption? Yeah, you could use an eyelet puncher, absolutely. Yep, OESD has a great punch tool, but this one came with my machine, so this is the one I'm going to use. And this little metal has a hole right here that's going to cut through the eyelet. Okay. All right, so let's take a look at, okay, I already did this one. And I'm gonna grab some scissors. Okay. And Maxine, you could, like, if you wanted to purchase additional embellishment kits, you could. If you're making several, you might want to purchase just the additional embellishment kits. That would work. Make sure I don't use it on the mat, Janice says. Well, you're right. That is all I have today. So I'm going to use this mat, but it's not too bad. If you find that it's going too deep into your mat when you punch it, then yeah, you could have like a separate mat that you only use for the punching, right? You could put something under it as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and place it right here. Oh, I forgot to tell you about this. This is where fray check will come in handy. Okay, this is fray check. And what they recommend, oh, put some scrap batting under it. That's a good idea. Okay, so this is called fray check. And what they recommend is that you drop this and just kind of rub it in to each of the eyelets, and then you let it dry, and then you punch it. Janice has a very holy mat. Well, that sounds very religious, Janice. All right, so the fray check is awesome. This is going to just help keep those threads together, especially in case your eyelet has a tendency to do that. So yeah, fray block would work as well. This here. And so their recommendation is that you do it on each one before you punch it, and it will just dry clear. You just got to find where you stitched them, right? So just going along here, singing a song. Here we go. Let's see. We have one more there. Like, I know there's another one somewhere. Oh, thank goodness Kris remembered her eyelets on this one. Wouldn't it be good to not have twinkling lights above baby Jesus here? There we go. Oh, that's a good idea. Donna said that after stitching each block, she just quickly does the fray check, and then it's all dry and ready to go. That's an excellent idea. Okay, and I think just one more over here. Oh, good idea. Kathy said she uses her kitchen cutting boards when she's doing the eyelet. Excellent. Excellent idea. Okay, so we're going to let that dry for a minute. And while that dries, I'll go back to doing eyelets. Okay, let's talk about the battery pocket. Okay, so while this dries, we're going to talk about making the battery pocket. So I like to say it's pocket time. Dun, 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 dun. Boom, boom. Can't touch this. Okay, pocket time. Does anyone know the reference to that song? All right. Yes, Kris gets a little weird sometimes. Abby, did you know that song? Yeah. Okay, where did my little ruler go? Oh, right here. Yeah, I guess you could put it on the back too. I didn't think about that, but you could. A little weird. Thanks, Deb. Can count on you, my friend. Yeah, Heather Marie's got it. Hammer time. Hammer time. Oh, the stuff I do to keep myself entertained. Okay, what it tells us, well, let's refer to the instructions here. Okay. I've got this memorized now, but I want to make sure that we are all clear with what page I'm referring to. Okay, so this one, opening the eyelets, sewing the battery pocket. If you're trying to follow along, I am on page 26. Page 26. Okay. And this is where we're using our 2 by 12-inch piece of fabric. And then it tells us to have a water-soluble or heat-sensitive pen or chalk. Obviously, my friends, this pocket ain't gonna show, right? So if you don't have something like that handy, use a marker, use a pen. It really is gonna be okay because it's inside the pocket or it's inside the pillow. So don't fret over stuff like that. Okay, but I have a chalk pencil today, so I'm gonna show that. What we need to do is fold the battery pocket fabric in half widthwise, wrong sides together to create a center fold. Okay, I can do that. So widthwise, that's hamburger style. And I have my wrong sides facing together. And then I'll press it. And just do a little finger press or a nail press, I like to say, right? Okay, so we did that. Boom, done. All right, so the fold, and if I just follow along with the directions, it really is, it lays it out for us step by step. So my fold is up here at the top. Okay, can everyone see that? Fold is up at the top. And it tells me to measure 2¼ inches from the center fold, which is this, and mark the fabric widthwise with our chalk or pencil or whatever you're using. So, all right, I can do that too. 2¼ I'm going to be right there. And take my little Choco pencil, or Choco liner, I should say. See it in white? Very nice when it comes to dark fabrics. And then it just brushes away. All right, so I've marked that, and now it says to fold the top layer of the fabric. Okay, so remember I've got 2 layers going on. So I'm going to take the top one and right sides together. I'm going to fold the top of the layer of fabric right sides together along the marked line so that it overlaps the center fold. All right, so this was the center fold. This is the line that I need to bring this up to, and I'm just going to press it right there. Like, you see that? Boom. Okay. Rose is asking if we still have fabric kits. We are out of fabric kits. However, if you give it just a few days, in fact, they might even arrive today. We were able to get a few more from Maywood, and we have lots of embellishment kits left. Okay, so there's that. All right, is everyone following along okay here? Okay, then flip the folded fabric over All right, can do that. I'm going to flip it over. And let's see, repeat steps 2 and 3. All right, so remember step 2 was we measured from the center fold. Well, we still have a center fold here. It's right here. I don't know how well you can see that, but that center fold is still there. So I'm going to measure down 2 1/4 inches from the center fold on this side. I'll just give myself a little mark there, and then there we go. Okay, so that's it. Now, what does it tell us to do? We're going to bring this up and over to meet the edge. Just like that. And we get an up close on this one. All right, so hopefully this is helping everyone to see what's happening here. There we go. So I'm just bringing this over on top of itself. My center fold is down here now. All right, so again, really, really good instructions. If you follow it step by step, you should have no problems at all. All right, are there any questions to this point? Let me know in the comments. Because at this point, now that I have it folded, I'm going to take it back to the sewing machine and I'm going to sew a 1/4 inch down both sides. Not along the top, just down the left and right hand sides. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Oh, yep, I'm happy to do it again. All right, let's take a look at this. So what happened was I started out with one single piece. I folded it in half with the wrong sides together, and I created a crease right here. I just ran my nail down there. At that point, it told us to measure from the top fold down 2 1/4 inches. So I went 2 1/4 inches, and that's where I went like this, and I marked it. And then it asked us to fold it up on the marking, but it overlaps that fold, right? Just like that. Then we were supposed to turn it over like this and do the same thing, but from the center fold. This is now my center fold. So I come from here, go 2 1/4 inches down, okay? Do a little marking here. And then we fold up on the marking. It's going to overlap. And there we go. Does that help, Carol? And then I'm going to take it to the sewing machine and I'm going to sew a 1/4 inch on both sides. Okay, let's go to the sewing machine. Oops. And turn it around and do the other side. And trim. Okay. So that is all there is to it. Let me grab my little turning tool, maybe. Yep, right here. I'm going to grab my little R&K turning tool. And now I'm just going to turn it right side out. Now, and poke out the edges. We've created a little pocket. How cool is that? Right. Now this edge is not sewn. Don't worry, because that's going to be sewn into the seam when the pillow comes together. And then your little battery pack, this is for the battery pack right here. for the fairy lights, it's going to just tuck right in there. So nice and easy. Isn't that amazing? Like, how did they think of that? That's genius. Genius, I say. Okay, I'm going to give it a little press. All right. Very, very cool. Okay, so that is how you do the pocket. How are we doing? Oh, this would make a great USB pocket. You're right, Lulu. It sure would. Your USB would fit right into that baby. Absolutely. All right, let's see how my eyelets are doing. Ooh, they are nice and dry. Okay, let's go ahead and punch these out. Again, if I were at home, I could use a separate cutting mat if I wanted to. You could use a cutting board like from my kitchen underneath. I'm just going to go ahead and use this and cross my fingers. All right, let's do this. Okay, so how you use this is you're going to just put it right in the middle, and then you just twist and twist. It literally, I mean, you might not even be able to see that, but it literally cuts. Let's see if we go right here. Right there. Look, you can see light through there, folks. What? It cuts right through it. Some people say you need a hammer. I don't even need a hammer. Oh my goodness, that is just so fun. I just want to keep tapping it. Okay, here we go. Moving on, Kris, moving on. Okay, so if you're doing this along with me, let's have some fun doing some twists and turns here. It won't take very long. And then on the other side of it and again, you got to do a little twist and turn here. But the other side of it, you can make that hole even bigger by cutting away, trimming away, I should say, some of the batting. Okay. So this should never scare anyone. This is easy peasy. And it makes kind of a small hole, right? But I prefer the small hole rather than a larger hole because that way when my lights go in, they fit really nice and snug. Are they a little tricky to get in? Well, maybe it just takes a little more effort to get them in. But I kind of like it that way. I want them nice and snug. I don't want them just kind of drifting. So personal preference there. So this awl works really well. Do any of you have awls and you never knew what it was for? Do you have one of these that came with your machine, but have never used it and said, what is that funny looking contraption, right? Fern, she says she's never used that tool. She can't wait to get home and do it. Let me tell you, if any of you follow Fern, our awesome Fern here at Girlfriends, she took her sewing machine and embroidery machine camping. I can't believe all the projects you're getting done, my friend. I'm like astounded at all that you're finishing. It's incredible. Okay, sometimes you get a little buildup there, so you just have to pull it out. No big deal. And twist. Yeah, Lulu says guilty. And Karen was wondering what that was in her box too. Yeah, you're not alone. I was the same way up until, maybe a couple of years ago is when I finally discovered what this little guy was. It was probably, when it was probably the same time as the Kimberbell, Twilight Boulevard is my guess, is when I discovered it. Okay, but there's tools out in the market here. Oh, now Sandra's there with you, Fern. Wow, how fun. That's another dynamic duo here. I'll tell you what, those two are awesome. Okay. In fact, Fern, Why don't you tell us what's the next event coming up while I'm finishing this up? I'm going to turn this over and do a little trim with my scissors on the back. Okay. So we do virtual Kimberbell events, and Fern and Sandra usually teach those. Oh, you want to show the video while I do this? It's Deck the Palms, folks. So I'm going to, let me tell you what I'm doing first. And while I'm doing it, Abby is going to show Deck the Palms because she's amazing like that. All right. I'm just doing a little trimming. Isn't that so cute? Oh my goodness, so much fun. And it looks like Bren shared that we are also doing the event not only next Friday, but also on November 10th. So either one of those dates are available. And it looks like I forgot about that. Sandra's actually going to be out of town. Fern said, visiting her high school days. I won't tell you what year reunion she's going to. I made a promise and I will keep that promise. I will not tell you what year, but she is going to a high school reunion. I said, you know what, Sandra, I'm impressed. I'm impressed. What can I say? I didn't even go to my 5-year. I was like, no. But so actually, Lisa will be teaching with Fern on that event, and Lisa is amazing as well. Grateful to have her. Okay, guys. Now, if you're curious and you're thinking, what did you trim here? If it's a little tricky for you, here's another suggestion for you. I just take these scissors. I love these ones right here. Yeah, Fern, it's her 10-year. It's her 10-year reunion. Absolutely. And so you see how it has this, I'm going to show right here into this camera. Ooh, that's a nice shot. Yeah, I like that, Abby. Okay, do you see how these are like the micro tip scissors from Kimberbell? And how it has this little like curvature on the end, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to kind of poke that in from the back and do a little twisty. So let me, oops, man down. I don't know what just fell. All right. Okay, so I'm going to take these and with them closed and just put it right in here and just do twist, 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 twist. That's it. Okay. All right. So there we go. It just kind of opens it up a little bit more. The eyelets look beautiful on the other side. You can't even, I mean, when that light goes in, oh my goodness, because we stitched with the same color thread as our background, it really just falls right into place. All right, so very, very cool. Okay, that is how to do eyelets. Are there questions about the eyelets before we move on? Any questions? Okay, what? Kathy went to her 50th a few years ago and made 125 mug rugs to take. Wow. Okay, Sandra, you better get on it. No camping for you, Sandra. 125 mug rugs. That is impressive, Kathy. That is impressive. Absolutely. You must, yeah, Abby says, you must really like the people you went to school with for sure. All right, that's awesome. Actually, that is really, really sweet and very generous of you. All right, so let's see. How do we install these lights? Well, does anyone have any special tricks up their sleeve on this one? What's that? No, we're going to talk about adding the lights first, and then we'll talk about zipper. You really could do either way, but this might be easier just to do it right now. Okay, so let's take a look down here at these lights, and there we go. We're just going to untwist these babies here. Let me go ahead and do this. Ruth says one at a time. That's right. That's right, Ruth. One at a time. Be careful as you try to unravel this. There we go. Twist bend the wire behind the light so that it stays put. Yes, and yes, Sylvia. Okay, so I'm just kind of lightly unwinding this. Oh. This reminds me of unwinding Christmas lights. And it's the time when sometimes Chris's not so nice words come out. But, it's fine. Okay. Oh, I need my glasses. Let's see. Okay. We got this. There we go. Oh, Heidi just turned on her Twilight Boulevard lights on last night. It's that time of year, folks. October's here. There we go. Don't break them apart and ruin the whole strand. Good thinking. Yeah, you're right, Janice. That's my friend talking. That's exactly right. When you get these babies, you got to pull this off, right? Everyone's aware of that. Yay, look. It is like Christmas lights. You don't want one to go out. Ta-da! These are so cute. Okay. So let's take a look at what the directions tell us to do. Okay. And then we'll do this together. Let's see. How are we doing on time? I think we're hanging in there. Okay. So I am on page 29 and page 29, adding the fairy lights. Okay, so it says locate the light closest to the battery pack on the fairy light strand. Bend the wire next to the light to create a point. All right, well, battery. Let's come up here. Battery. Closest light. Yeah, that is true, Crystal or Cindy. You could use hot fix crystals as well. You absolutely could. Okay, so I just bent this down, just like it tells us. Let's see. Let me get a background that you can see that. There we go. Ooh. Okay, name that movie. Name that movie, folks. I am so dumb sometimes, but I can't help myself. Look at that. What movie is that? This is a classic. Come on. Oh, Tracy's got it first. Oh, no, Becky. Karen. Oh, you guys are coming in hot. Yeah. E.T. Phone Home. Okay. Have you ever watched that movie again after the fact? It's kind of bizarre. I'm just saying. Like when I watched it as a kid, it was awesome. And then a few years ago, it happened to be rerunning or something. And It was like, I'm watching it and I go, my mom let me watch that? They talk about some things that are probably not appropriate, but you know what? It's much worse nowadays, I guess. So there you go. Kris on her soapbox. Okay. So we have, like, Kris, we are not talking about ET. All right. Locate the eyelet furthest. Push the bent light through the eyelet. Okay. Oh, locate the eyelet furthest to the left when viewed from the front of the pillow. Push the bent light through the eyelet from the wrong side of the pillow front. Okay. So furthest from the left, furthest to the left. When we look at it, which is right here, right? Is that? Yeah. Yeah. Right there. And we just insert this through the back. Okay, let's go up here. It's the furthest one right here. And ta-da, I have my first light installed. Okay, so let's see. And it says pull the light through the eyelet from the right side of the pillow front. Arrange the wire as shown and gently twist it to secure it in place. So what you can do is you actually, rather than having it poke out like that, you actually kind of just bend it down like that. Okay. And from the front. And then do a little twist right here in the back. Okay. So you're going to continue this again, one at a time through each of the eyelets. All right. Oh, that camera went out. No problem. All right. So I'm going to, shall I do that now with all of you? Let's see, what time are we at? Because we still have the zipper to do, but that's pretty easy peasy too. All right. Do you mind if I just hurry and do this all at the same time? Would that be okay, everyone? Let's do it together. And I think I can answer questions at the same time. So, all right, let me get this guy out of the way. I did a little twisty. Oh, geez, that just went out. Okay, let's try that again, Kris. There we go. All right. And then my next light, I'm just looking at where my travel lines need to go. So again, we're just kind of pinching it, pushing it through. I'm going to push it through here. Pull it through the front. Oops. Okay, there we go. It's on the front. I'm going to kind of bend it over. Yeah, you could put a little bit of tape there as well. That's not a bad idea. Yeah, because that one just wanted to go out too. I must be pulling on it too a little too hard. You know what? I'm going to do that. I think I am going to do that, Heather. Let's grab some tape. I'll tell you, Kimberbell tape comes in handy in many ways. We had someone who cut themselves one time in a class, which was never fun. And while we were running to get the first aid kit, she grabbed Kimberbell paper tape and put it right on. It worked. I'm going to hold that there. Okay, I'm pulling it out here, bending it over, and do a little twist. Just pull that out again. There we go. Okay, I like the tape. All right. Oh, let's see. I can't travel all the way up here. right? Well, maybe I could. I could, but I'm going to go here first. By the way, we do sell lights separately as well on our website. If you are needing new lights, I mean, you could get a new battery as well. I'm not sure where to find those. Probably Amazon, I would imagine, for a new battery. But if you need some new lights or extra lights because you're doing other projects with them, we do have the set of fairy lights on our website. Okay. All right, there we go. Hey, Heather, I'm kind of digging on the idea of the tape. Why hadn't I done that before? I don't know, but I think that was an excellent suggestion. Okay. Deborah looks like she purchased some new batteries on Amazon. Awesome. Okay. Any other suggestions or questions? I love hearing from you all. Okay, this might take me more time than I want it to. But it actually, it's going to help get that zipper in last but not least. All right, so I'm going to try and speed this up a little, hopefully. I don't know. We'll see how Kris does at speeding up. I don't believe it should be problematic. I do like the fact that we put tape on it to help with that. The reason why we don't want to do it later is just because it's so much easier getting them in now rather than when the back of the pillow is on, right? It would be kind of tricky trying to get your hands in there and everything. So, all right, we're getting there. Bending that down, twist, twist, and use a little bit of tape. Okay. Candy cane lane. How many of you have done candy cane lane? That's a fun one. In fact, I believe I saw on the schedule that next week, if you've never done candy cane lane, which is absolutely adorable, we are going to be selling kits for that. Our kit team has been cutting the past couple of weeks preparing for candy cane lane because let me tell you, that one is so stinking cute as well. So another Christmas one. I don't know about you. In our home, we kind of have like a little area that's kind of more Santa Clausy, and then we have a little area that's more, on the spiritual side of Christmas. And I think both are important. Okay. So like candy cane lane would be in the area that's more like whimsical, right? But this is absolutely gorgeous. In fact, I'm so excited. I have a tree in our home that one year I took this is going to be perfect for it because I took ornaments and I cut out with vinyl the different names of the Savior that we find in the scriptures. And I labeled each one with a name that he is referred to in the scriptures. And so anyway, it's just kind of a special thing in our home. And this pillow is going to be absolutely beautiful right beside it. All right. I don't think I've skipped any stitches here. All right, we've got just 3 more, guys. There we go. Two more. Go. And last one. Woohoo! We did it. We did it. All right. Yay! Yeah, digging the tape idea, Miss Heather. Love that. Okay, so all done. All done. Yeah, Barbara, it could be adopted for a mantle. Absolutely, it could. Look at that. Oh, my heart. My heart. This is absolutely beautiful. Oh my goodness, I absolutely love this. Okay, so now is the final step, friends. We've got 30 minutes left of class. Let's do this, shall we? All right, let's go step by step again, according to the directions, so that we make sure we're all together, we're all on the same page, and we know what's happening. The nice thing about this embellishment kit is that you have a very, very long zipper, don't you? Pretty cool. Not easy to find long zippers like this. So let's take a look. I am on page 27. Page 27. All right. And we need our fabric back and zipper cover and the nylon coil zipper, which is the 42-inch one. We already finished sewing the battery pocket, so we're good there. Now it says measure the pillow front lengthwise through the center, trim the back fabric to be the same length as the front. Then we have a half yard. Okay, we have a half yard of fabric, which is 18 inches, right? So what it's telling us to do is that we are going to end up cutting 2 inches off of that 18. So we end up having a 16-inch piece and a 2-inch piece. See, together that would have been made 18 inches, right? So I'm going to trim 2 inches off of one long edge of the back fabric, and this is going to become the zipper cover fabric. All right, let's do this. So I'm going to go ahead and do a measure, maybe. I mean, I'm going to assume that it's 36 inches, but you never know. I don't see my just measuring tape. Darn it. I will, let's see. I'll go ahead and just use a regular ruler. Okay. So I just want to make sure, again, I'm making an assumption here, but my guess is, whoops, wrong side. My guess is that it's going to be 36 inches. All right, so I got that one. That's at the 24 and 24 and 12 is 36. Oh, and then a half. So it's 36 and a half. 36 and a half inches. Okay. All right. That makes sense because it actually finishes at 36. So that's why we need to account for seam allowance, right? Okay. I'm setting that aside. And now I need to cut my backing fabric, which came in at a half yard, and it looks pretty wrinkly. So let's take it over and get those wrinkles out, shall we? Okay. All right, and I'm going to make sure this is all squared up. So I bring the top and bottom together, do a little shimmy shimmy, make sure that everything lies down nice and smooth. And I'm going to bring this fold up to the top because I want to cut, make it easier to cut. Now, you can see here that it's just a little bit off, right? Give it a little trim. Okay, and to do that, I'm just going a little bit across a vertical line here. Just a smidgen. Get rid of that. Okay, now I have a nice clean piece to cut from, and yep, we're still at 18 inches. Nice, nice, nice. In fact, I'm just a little over 18 inches, so I'm going to trim up this side while I'm at it. Okay, now I have a nice even cut on both sides. All right. Okay, friends, so the first thing I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take off 2 inches. All right. Now remember, I need it by 36.5, but while it's here, I'm just going to go ahead and take off the 2 inches. So I'm down here at my cutting mat, and I'm going to just measure over 1 inch and 2 inches right here. So you can see right here, and I'm going to trim this up. This is going to end up being our zipper cover right here. All right, I'm going to set that aside. Now I need to subcut this to be 36.5 inches, right? Because we measured through the center and we discovered that it was 36.5 inches. So let's see, what am I going to do here? I'm going to trim off the selvages first. All right, I just want to get rid of that, and I'll fold it in half again so that it's, again, a little easier to cut. Okay, so got rid of the selvages. If I need to be, okay, I could do one of two things. I could lay this whole thing out, right? And then just go to the 36.5 inch line. Or what could I do? Keep this folded, make sure that these edges are turned over here, and I would need to cut it, oh, excuse me, no, over here. Oh, don't do what I just did. Okay, your fold needs to be over here because we need it to, we're going to cut it in half to make 36.5. All right, just because my cutting space is so small. If you have a larger cutting space in where you're sewing from, go ahead and, put out the whole thing. But my cutting space right now is really small. So my fold is on the left. Make sure you have it on the left. Oh, or else you're going to strangle Kris. Left. And then if I'm doing 36.5, what am I going to cut this to be? It's going to be 18.25, right? Okay, so I'm going to go 18.25 inches over. Again, just to get my 36.5. This is the only reason why I'm doing that, is because of space. And for me, it's efficiency too. All right, 18.5, folks, or 18.25. So I'm going to go here, and guess what? I'm going to fold it up one more time. Again, just for ease of cutting. All right, 10, go. All right, I'm going to be at 18.25 inches. Trim that off. Okay, and put that in my stash. And ta-da! I have a 16-inch by 36.5-inch backing. Woot woot! Can I hear a hallelujah? Okay, and we're going to do the same thing with our zipper cover. This also needs to be 36.5 inches. I just have it folded in half. I have the fold on the left side so that I can cut it this way. Thanks, Laurel. I can count on you, girl. For my hallelujah. And then I'm going to go to 18.25 on this one. Okay, so what do I end up having? Thanks, Julie. 2 inches by 36.5 inches. Woo! All right. So we did not cut that on Monday. So that's why I thought, ooh, I better go over that today. All right. There's more than one ways to do that. More than one way to do this. So if you have a different way of getting to your 36.5, go for it. But that's the ultimate goal, is that it needs to be 16 inches by 36.5 for the back, and 2 inches by 36.5 inches for the zipper pocket. Okay. Carol, I won't be able to do it again because I just cut it. But what I want to say is, with your half yard of fabric, just go ahead and just trim it to be a 16-inch piece and a 2-inch piece. Okay. And then from there, go ahead and cut them both. When you subcut, you're going to cut it to be 36.5 inches. All right. So, if what I just did is a little confusing because I doubled it up, then toss that out the window. Say, Kris doesn't know what she's doing. It's fine. You just go ahead and just lay it out one single layer and then cut it at 36.5 inches. Okay, I hope that helps. All right. What else do we have to do? All right. So let's go back and take a look and see what's happening. I guess the most important thing to say is that you just need 2 pieces of fabric, right? One that's 2 inches by 36.5 and one that is 18 inches or 16 inches by 36.5. All right. So again, I was just trying to do a little bit quicker method where I was dividing it, but you certainly do not have to do it that way. Okay. All right. So let's go to, let's see. Okay, we're on step number 3. Fold the zipper cover in half lengthwise, wrong sides together, and press well along the fold. All right, let's do it. So we're going to come right over here to our ironing station, and it's told us to do wrong sides together. So I'll go ahead and do that. In fact, oh, if I had one of those Quilt easy binding things, that would be like so perfect right now, but it doesn't look like I have one up here. Okay, so for those of you who have those little quilt binding easy notions that we sell oftentimes, this would be a perfect place to use it. So we're here. Okay, there we go. All right. Yes, we are going to be selling some Laura stars, and we are just, you can actually, I think they're on the website right now, the 2 that we currently own. We'll have it here, but we are going to be doing like a virtual event that is just free to attend. Anyone who wants to learn more about Laura Star, and we're going to have the expert of the Laura Star ironing system on it. So we'll make sure and let you know when that comes up for sure, because I know there's a lot of questions out there, and I'm still learning about it myself. I'm still trying to get used to it. So yeah, Donna says, Kris, you're no longer afraid of the iron. Exactly. I mean, it used to scare me. It's a powerful thing. Okay, so it tells us we just did step number 3, and now we go to step number 4. And it says place the pillow front right side up and align the raw edges of the zipper cover fabric with the bottom edges of the pillow front. All right, let's do that. So I'm going to grab my pillow here and I'm going to align the raw edges. All right. So this was the little zipper cover I just did, right? And now I take the raw edge, the folds at the top. I'm going to take the raw edge and just place it right along here. Okay. Now I know it's going to be kind of hard to see because we have, let me see if I can do this. There we go. Just because the colors match so close, right? But this is what's happening here is that I've got the raw edges aligned along the bottom, okay? All right, so I've done that. And let's see, align the edges of the zipper cover fabric with the bottom edge of the front pillow. Place the zipper right side down with the pull on the left and align the bottom edge of the zipper tape with the raw edges of the zipper cover and pillow front. Center the zipper horizontally, pin or clip the zipper and zipper cover in place. The zipper cover should be sandwiched between the zipper and the pillow front. Okay, what are they talking about? What you talking about, Willis? All right, let's grab this. This is our zipper. We already put our little zipper cover here, right? And now I'm going to take, let's put it on this camera. Oh, this one's not working. Okay. We're going to, should I go to this one? Right here? Okay. Okay. So this is my zipper and it's pretty, can you see the zipper pull right here? All right. So my zipper pull is on the top. What I want to do is I'm going to place it face down on top of what I just did and with the zipper pull on the left-hand side. Now, this zipper is 42 inches long. Remember, our pillow is only 36 and a half. So what we can do is just place this down, kind of center it. I mean, please don't get out a measuring tape or anything like that. You don't need to do that. Just kind of center it along there so that we are fully away from the metal on both sides. And we're just going to place this right side down, zipper pull on the left. Okay. All right. So basically what's happening here is that I'm sandwiching the zipper cover in between the top and the zipper. And I'm just lining them both up. So I'm going to extend this a little bit because I've got plenty of zipper here to work with. Right? I want to make sure this is nice and out of the way. And I'm going to grab some pins. You could use glue here if you wanted to. I've been known to do that. You could use like Wonder Tape, which is awesome too. That's like a 1/4 inch Wonder Tape, which is kind of like a heat and bond, if you will, that's already set up at a 1/4 inch, and you can do it that way as well. So there's lots of different ways to be able to hold this all in place. The most important thing is you want to make sure to align the raw edges. You could also use Wonder Clips. Wonder Clips would work as well. So I'm not aligning the folded, well, the fold is at the top, plural. Fold of this is at the top, but I am aligning all of the raw edges. Great question. Yeah, clips would work well to hold it together as well. Definitely. Okay, so just take your time. Let's get this all nice and tight in here. And then we'll be ready to stitch it down. Okay, so just raw edges are aligned. See, if for those who might not know what a clip is, this is what I'm referring to. because you could do that as well. Just like that. Okay. I'm going to pin it for now. Okay, again, raw edges are aligned. Okay, so now that's all put together. The next step tells us, let's see, we are on step number 5. So step number 5 tells us that we're going to sew along the pinned edge with a 1/4 inch seam allowance to attach the zipper cover and zipper to the pillow front, and then we remove the pins. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. And let's see, I would recommend changing feet to be a zipper foot. Let me see if I've got that in here. Yep, I do. Okay, I'm going to do a zipper foot. This is what it looks like for those of you who may be new to sewing. Okay, this is your zipper foot. And there's usually 2 bars on there. I'm going to put it on the left bar for right now. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to switch this out super quick. And we'll stitch this down. And you may need to shift your needle position over. So just kind of, follow along on your, bring your hand wheel down to see where the needle falls. And then if you need to switch it over a little bit more, you can. Okay, so I'm just doing a left-right shift on mine. And then I pull my needle down and I go, yep, that's where I want it to be. Okay. All righty, so let's do this. I should have probably put my pins to the outside. I didn't think about that. If you need to readjust, you certainly can do that. It's never too late to make an adjustment. All righty, we did it. Yay, Paula says she's just right at the point where she's ready to install the zipper, so I'm glad you're here, Paula. Miss Paula K. All righty. So you can see here that my zipper, the first part of it, has been installed. All right, so let's take a look at our instructions again. I'm on page 27. And it says, finish the bottom edge of the zipper tape, zipper cover, and pillow front with a zigzag or other finishing stitch. I'm not going to worry about it. What you could do is, what they're saying is you could go back and do a zigzag stitch. Those of you who have sergers, you could do a serger, whatever you want right there. But I'm not going to worry about it for today. Okay, it's nice, but not it's not going to make a huge difference if that's something you want to skip. Okay, place the pillow front, right side up, flip the zipper and the zipper cover over. Be sure that the zipper tape is laying flat with the finished edges folded under the pillow front. Press well along the seam. All right, so I'm going to, let's see, what are we going to do here? We're just going to bring this over like this, the zipper, and then we bring this over as well. And we're going to give it a nice good press. And then we're making sure that the zipper is lying flat, which, let's see, right there. See, we got to pull that seam underneath. Okay. And then we can do a top stitch right along the border. Okay. So, oh, let's see. Are you able to get up closer on this? I'm not sure how close we can get, but I just want to make sure everyone understands that direction. Okay, so this is my zipper and it's face down, right? Here's my zipper cover. It's telling us to pull it back and flat. So the zipper essentially needs to lay flat again, okay? If I were just to pull this over, that doesn't make the seam go under. That doesn't make the zipper flat, right? I've got to take all of this and bring it over, okay? So that the zipper is truly flat. And then what I'll do is I'm going to press that really well, and then I'm going to top stitch along the seam with a 1/8 inch seam allowance. So I'm going to top stitch just like, I don't know. I could either do it, what do I want to do? Yeah, I'm going to do it along the border, okay? All right. So let me get my little feet kit, or what I like to call a beauty box, out of the way. All right. Melissa says she likes that the lights are twinkling. I kind of like it too. It kind of makes me happy right now. It's like I can see the end is in sight and it's pretty cool. Okay, is everyone good about the whole zipper being flat idea? Oops, there we go. Kind of going down. This is just so cool. Okay. All right. It tells me to do a top stitch. You know what? I am going to actually change out my thread color. I don't want my top stitch to be in white. I think I would rather have it in like a navy blue. So, and because I don't have my threads with me, let me see what I can find in my little stash here. Let's see. I could probably could probably get away with a blackie, but, or you know what, this works. I'm using the Brilliant Blue, but you could use any color thread. I just don't really want my top stitching to show. So, okay. All right, so I'm going to make sure and rethread this. And again, if there's, just as a reminder, if you have questions along the way that perhaps I wasn't able to get to today, please don't hesitate to write in the comments. I'll go through those tonight and see if I can help answer. Okay. All right. So I'm going to do a little top stitch here. And let me check my needle position. I'm going to bump my stitch length up to 3. There we go. Okay. I'm doing a top stitch. That's what I'm doing. And really the reason why we do this top stitch and why it's important is because basically it's just holding that seam in place. So it's not going to get in your way later on. So that's why I'm going along the border edge, is because that's where my seam ended up falling into. Okay. All right. So there's that. Okay, are we good? Everyone understand what's happening here? I hope. Let's go back to page 27 again. And let's see, where were we at? We just did step number 8. So now it says to flip only the zipper cover over the pillow front. Pin or clip the zipper cover at each end to keep in place. Do not pin the zipper at this time. Okay, that's highlighted. So we know that's a big deal, right? Okay, there's a reason for this is because we don't want to get this caught when we add our backing. This is simply our zipper cover. So what I'm going to do here is I'm pulling this back. Okay, again, this is just the zipper cover. Let me grab my little white piece of paper here so you can see the difference here. So again, this is just coming back on top of itself. My zipper is still there. Here's my zipper. Here's the zipper cover. All right, so I've still got that. I'm moving that up, and I'm going to take a little pin and just, whoops, all the stuff that, we find fallen after, right? And I'm just going to pin it out of the way. It says you could do it on both sides. I'm going to do it in just a few places, just for added measure, just a safety. That's all. Okay, so again, I'm just getting this nice and out of the way. All right. Oh my goodness, I'm past time. Holy cow. It is 12:01, guys. I'm so sorry. Okay, give me just a few more minutes. We really truly are almost done. Okay, so we pinned the zipper cover out of the way. Okay, now I'm on page 28. It says, with the back fabric right side down, align one long edge of the back fabric with the remaining edge of the zipper tape. Align the left and the right edges of the pillow front and back, pin or clip zipper tape in place. So you can see right along here, that's what they're doing. And then we sew along that edge to attach the back fabric. All right, so let's quickly do that. Oh, thanks you guys. You're so sweet. I'm like, oh, I know time is valuable for you. I'm so sorry. So I hope this is helpful. Okay, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to just place it over top of my pillow. Okay, so make sure my edges are aligned. And I'm aligning right here, the left-hand side and along the bottom, all right? And this is again where I would pin. Okay. All right, so let's go through and pin. This time I'm going to wise up here and actually put my pin heads towards the outside. That way, they're so much easier to remove afterwards, right? Again, we're just lining this up. Okay, there's that. Oh my goodness, my friends. You know, I couldn't have finished this without you. It'd probably still be sitting in a box because you have motivated me to get this done. I am so excited, but now I've got a few more to make. But that's okay. I know exactly what I'm doing now, right? All right. And let's do one more. All right. So what we're doing here is we're just installing the zipper. All right. So I'm going to take it to the machine and I'm going to sew a 1/4 inch seam allowance all the way down once again. Remember, I've got, I want to change over to my zipper foot. All right. Which is really easy to do. All I have to do is just plop, there it goes off. And then I'm just going to pop that on. These snap-on feet are awesome. Okay, so let's come to the machine and let's get this in. We are almost done. Oh, you know what I did? Let's see. Hold on. Hold on, Smokey Joe's. Okay. You know what? I did not do a very good job of lining that baby up. Let me try that again. So sorry. I noticed when I got over to the machine that I was a little more over to one edge than I should have been. My bad, but it's okay. Let me get this right. This is where you definitely want to do it correctly. Okay, so take the time to align that along the edge. Okay. All right. Yes, we are going to add the battery pocket as well, but we do it in just a minute. We don't do it quite yet. Almost to the battery pocket. Okay, looks like I might have done a little bit longer than I should have, so that's okay. I can trim that up after. Okay, so we're good on this side. We've got plenty on this side. Yep, we're good to go. All right. All righty, here we go. We do open up the zipper, but we don't have to at this point. We'll open up the zipper before we sew the other 3 edges. All right, so fortunately, you don't have to worry about it quite yet. See how my fabric is shifting down a little bit, but that's not a problem. I can readjust as I go. I just had to make sure and start clean from the beginning, and we're good. Yeah, that's right, Sybil. She says, better too long than too short. Amen to that one. For sure. Okay. Whew. All righty. Let's bring it back and see what's happening here with, yeah. I may have miscalculated a little bit on my cutting mat because I was starting from the middle instead of from the 0. So no big deal, because all I have to do is make sure those are aligned and we're good. So I am good. Everything is figure outable, as I say. Okay, so what next? Okay, so it says finish the bottom of this back fabric and zipper with a zigzag or other finishing stitch. So yeah, you could totally do that right here. Okay, you could absolutely do that. I'm not going to because of time, but basically, again, what it's saying is just do a zigzag stitch over the bottom edge, and you could absolutely do that. All right, so then we flip the back fabric right side up and top stitch along the seam with a 1/8 inch seam allowance. All right, so we're gonna do this. All right, you can see here, and I'm gonna give it a nice press before I top stitch. Oh, this is so nice. How do you like this new zipper closure idea in these bench pillows? I love it. And I don't think it's, oh, see, I wish I could use my Laura Star ironing board right now. But I'm limited on my space. So right here, there we go. So nice. But the zipper closure, I think people are loving it. It's like, I love to add zipper closures to my pillows for sure. Okay, I need to top stitch this, right? So let me go ahead and change out my presser foot real quick. There we go. And here we go. All right, top stitch, here we come. Okay, trim my threads. Yeah, Alice says top stitching really helps it stay in place. And that is very, very true. Just keeps it all together, right? Okay, so we've just finished top stitching. That was step number 13. Now is when we open the zipper until the pull is 4 inches inside the edges. 4 inches give or take, right? It doesn't have to be exact. But we're going to pull that a little bit in. And then we place the pillow cover on a flat surface with the front and back sides together, and with the pillow front on top. Be sure that the block with the camel is on the left and the block with the donkey is on the right, as shown. I mean, see, we just can't go wrong. If we go step by step, we're going to be just fine, right? So, all right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to open up the zipper, right? It's over here. And I'm also going to trim my edge because I went way too long on this. And I'm going to get rid of these pins that were holding it in place. I don't need those anymore. All right, but before I trim that off, I better move that zipper, right? Don't ask me how I know that. All right, so I moved it in approximately 4 inches. All right, let me trim this baby up because that's going to drive me nuts. Yeah, Julie, your assumption is correct. It is much easier to install the pillow, to insert the pillow, I should say, using this method of the zipper. And it just finishes so pretty too, right? All right, I'm gonna grab a different ruler here. Here we go. I'm gonna use our girlfriend ruler. And I'm just trimming this excess off. There we go. Okay, we're back in business. All right, so what we need to do, and again, we can see the instructions right here, that this is going to be, we're going to flip this over so that the camel is on the left. Do you see the camel outline here? That's important. That's what they want us to do. They want to make sure, and they did a beautiful diagram illustrating this, but they want us to make sure the camel is on the left and that the shepherd is on the right. All right. And then what we do is that, and the donkey's on the right, I guess it says, align the left, right, and top edges of the pillow and pillow back, pin or clip all 3 edges. And so, yes, you're going to do that. And then we align the raw edges of the battery packet. So when someone was asking about the battery packet and when that goes on, that's right now. All right, so that's going to come on now. It tells us to put it 2.5 inches from the zipper. So approximately around there. Oh, let me get this in the camera better. There we go. All right, so we need to go about 2.5 inches up, and we're going to install the battery packet right there. So remember how we had the raw edge? Yeah, that's where that's going to fall into place. And then you're able to insert this in when you're done. Oh, you know what I just noticed? I didn't give myself enough wiggle room. So this is what I'm going to do. Okay, this is important. I'm glad we actually ran into this problem. I can't see how my cord is not stretching. This is probably another really good idea of why to install these lights beforehand. I got to make sure. So I'm going to have to skip the idea of 2.5 inches, and I'm going to have to go up higher. Make sure. Yeah, I'm going to go up higher to about here. There we go. Now I'm going to go here. Why not? I want to make sure and not have to struggle with that, right? So that's where your little battery pocket's going to fall into. So my suggestion would be, don't worry about the 2.5 inches. Just do it based off of measuring how long it takes for your cord to get down there and fit into it. Okay, sound good? All right, friends, all you have to do now is, again, you're just going to pin all 3 sides. So left, top, and along the right-hand side. Just pin it in place. Do a 1/4 inch seam allowance all the way around, and then clip your corners. Okay, so we can clip the corners, and then I would use my little handy dandy R&K turning tool to poke them out, and you're done. Oh my goodness, we are done. Can you believe it? Yes, 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 shout hooray. Oh, that's another bench pillow. Boom, boom. All right, so any other questions that I can help answer as we end today? Yuta, hi, my friend. I haven't seen you for a while. She's asking, do you know if Kimberbell plans to offer long zippers in the future? I am not sure. That's a really good question. I don't know, but maybe if enough of us ask, we might be able to see that for sure. So, that is a great question. All right, so I hope you found this to be helpful, inspiring. Try new things, try different tips. Thank you for all the tips that you all shared this week. That was amazing. So I always, I'm a teacher, but I'm also a learner, and I have so much learning to still do. And I love it when we can get together like this and learn in this kind of format. It really is very rewarding for me as a teacher, but I'm also a student still of learning, and I learned so much from you. So thank you so much for participating. Thank you for making comments and sharing your experiences with each of these techniques, because that's the only way is we learn together, right? And it's always more fun that way as well. So if you want to see more of these kinds of videos, we'd love to get your feedback and happy to do it. I think this has been a really fun one to try and do within a week. Not all projects are you're able to do that, right? But with this one, we were able to do it, and dang it, we all did a good job, right? You included. So yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. And again, if you have questions, please feel free to reach out. You can even email me if you prefer to do it anonymously, or I mean, not on Facebook. You could email me at Kris, Kris, at mygirlfriendsquiltshop.com. Don't forget, shop is spelled with 2 P's and an E. Or you can ask questions right here on the Facebook page or on our YouTube channel as well. So I hope that you'll be able to know that these kinds of things will be recorded here and YouTube. So whatever's most convenient for you. All right. So let's see. If there's anything else that I can help with, let me know. Sometimes the comments go through quickly. Sometimes I'm at the machine and I miss them. So anyway, let us know. All right. Oh, Becky is telling someone to call customer service. Someone can talk you through it, how to do it. Okay. I'm not sure what that is reference to, but thank you, Becky, for answering that question. And yeah, that's another thing about here at Girlfriends. Uh, we just truly, I hope you believe that we just do not take your business for granted. We're incredibly grateful for you. All of us, our entire team here, you are what helps us to keep going. So thank you. And it takes a village around here. There's a lot of people behind the scenes. So shout out to the team here at Girlfriends. I couldn't do this without them. So I am very grateful for each and every one of them. And thank you, Abby and Allie, for being such great videographers this week. That was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. All right, everyone. Have a great rest of your day. Have a wonderful weekend. Keep sewing, keep doing all the things that you love. And we'll see you again real soon. Bye bye.